I'll go back to my workshop. Now, ages ago, I was given loads of bits of wood. Now, these are slats off of a bed, and I thought now is the time for me to try and make something. Don't know what I'm going to make yet. I think I might try and make a bowl. But the problem is, these are all curvy, like this, and very springy. So, let's find a way of turning these into a decent piece of wood. Okay, so now I have all my pieces of wood cut into smaller pieces, so when I stick them together the gap isn't as bad. Still got a curve, but the gap won't be that bad. But first, before I stick them together, it looks like it's got some lacquer or varnish on this, so I'm going to have to sand all of these down, and there's loads of them. I better get on with that. Right, after ages of sanding and sanding and sanding, the first batch is all sanded ready to glue, but I've clamped them together. But I've got a problem here. There's still a bit warped. If we have a look in close, see here, there's gaps. Now if I don't close those gaps, when I start turning it, there'll be nothing left to hold it together, so it'll fly apart on the lathe. On the lathe. So I've got to find another method to make these a little bit flatter. Right, so it looks like the only way I can do it is on the oscillating belt sander. I tried running them through the planer, and because they're not flat, I run them through the thickness apart, and I ended up with snipe, which gave me this. Yeah, I've got even more gaps. It's ridiculous. Right, I'll carry on with the oscillating belt sander. It seems to be the only way. Right, so now that's the glue I've done. I've got all of them ready here. I'm going to leave that overnight to dry properly, have a bit of a clear up, because I've made a hell of a mess. Look at this, look. I've got my planer out, I've got my sander out, the desk is a mess, the bench. The whole place is a trashed mess. Right, so I'm going to tidy that up and I'll come back to it tomorrow. Right, these fellas have been drying overnight. Let's get the clamps off and make sure they don't fall apart. Right, so they're all stuck together now. So I've got solid blocks of wood. They're a bit uneven. So when I put them together, obviously I've got to stick two of them together like this. They're a bit uneven. So that's never going to stick together. So what I've got to do, run these through the planer. And get at least two flat surfaces so I can stick them together, and I think that'll probably be big enough for a bowl. Then I've got this bit. Right, to the planer. Now that is a lot of clamps. I don't want it coming apart. Right, it's been drying overnight. I'm going to take these clamps off and then mount it onto the lathe, but first I better cut it into a bit of a circle. Right, I can't turn it anymore because it started to delaminate. Let me show you what's happening. Now hopefully you can see on the bowl that little flash of light there. We zoom in. Yeah, it's starting to come unstuck. So I can't turn it anymore. But what I'll do is I'll finish it off. Okay, it's a shame. So that's it, it's all done. So after days and days of cutting and gluing and turning and breaking, I've managed to create this. Okay, it's turned out all right. It's a shame, I wanted it a lot thinner, but I had to stop because obviously it started to delaminate. But yeah, the finish is okay. The problem is most of it was end grain, so there's a bit of tear out, but got my little logo on the bottom. Yeah, it's okay. Don't know if I can use it as a little plant pot because I'm definitely not going to be able to put my Rice Krispies in it. But yeah, that was out of some old bed springs. Thing is though, I've been given a load more, so I've got to make something with those now. Right, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. That was my first bit of turning forever. I'll start another project and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Better tidy up now.